And I honestly kind of want to Electro Drift for Igraf and see if I just knock it out instead of messing around with Volt Switch. We do just clean knockout Miraidon. And for Igraf, so okay, pretty good start to this game. With Regulation I bringing a double restricted format to Scarlet and Violet, we are for the first time in VGC able to bring the two version mascots together. The Lizard of the Ancient Past, Koraidon, and the Lizard of the Distant Future, Miraidon, teaming up on the same team. And I gather in the early days of the format, people are actually having fun with these double bike teams. I think there are good versions of them that are working very well for people, but this is, as you can see, not a serious double bike team. Instead, we are pushing the premise further. We are doubling down on the paradoxical, timey-wimey nature of the time machine in Scarlet and Violet, and I've just thrown together a team that is a 50-50 mix of past Pokemon and future Pokemon. Good luck explaining this one, Professor Sada or Professor Turo. I think both of your brains combined are not going to be up to the task. So, starting point was Koraidon, Miraidon. After that, I wanted exactly 2 past Paradox Pokemon and exactly 2 future Paradox Pokemon. I started off thinking about ones that could benefit from both the Sun and the Electric terrain. So Raging Bolt is, I believe, the only Pokemon in Scarlet and Violet that gets Rising Voltage. So it gets a Photosynthesis boost to its special attack, and then it also, Rising Voltage gets a huge power boost when Electric terrain is in effect. And then on the future side, we have Iron Moth, which of course has Quark Drive, boosting its speed on this team, but it's also going to get boosted Heat Wave damage in the Sun. For the other 2 slots, I went with Flutter Mane because it can go very fast with a Photosynthesis speed boost, give my team a little bit of speed control as well as taunt. And Iron Treads because, I don't know, I didn't feel strongly about what other future Paradox Pokemon to use. And on a team with 3 dragons and a fairy type, a steel type seemed like a pretty reasonable idea. But this team is meant to just be aggressive and just go, and really it's meant to just, like I said, bring the past and the future together and try to have a little bit of fun with that. I don't know how much fun we're going to have in this first game because we are up against a Weezing and Shadow Rider team, and this team is very much built to use its abilities. Mine is, not theirs. Theirs a little bit. Yeah, they have a lot of ways to just turn off things that I want to do, which is, you know, fair enough, but I'm going to lead Miraidon Raging Bolt here, I think, and if they lead with Weezing, I'm going to try to threaten it as much as I can as quickly as possible. And then it's sort of more consistent with the premise of the team if I bring both of my restricteds to as many games as possible, right? So I probably want Koraidon. It's not amazing in this matchup. I could just do Iron Moth, Iron Treads. That honestly seems kind of reasonable here. Okay. Okay, they lead Weezing and Calyrex. I'm always worried that the Weezing will just protect turn 1. So let's just attack the Calyrex, actually. Rising Voltage, sadly not that strong without the terrain up. I forgot that I have Snarl on this Raging Bolt. Let's click that. It is an Assault Vest Raging Bolt, so I thought I might as well. Part of the idea there is that Rising Voltage in Electric terrain and Sun is just so strong anyway. Could afford the defensive item. Okay, that Calyrex is a lot of damage. And I'm not sure it's taking as much back as I'd like, but see what we can do here. I can Thunderclap it now. It might protect, but I think Thunderclap and just high horsepower into Weezing I think is probably pretty reasonable. They do protect it. Okay. Does Weezing attack? Well, we don't get to find out. As that Choice Banded high horsepower just deletes it from the game. With past and future teaming up, just like I said, they go to their Ogre Pawn here. I should be able to land another Snarl into Calyrex if they let me. So I'm just gonna high horsepower Ogre Pawn and click Snarl. Yeah, they follow me. Saw that coming. They don't get a KO with the Astral Barrage, so that's good for me. Snarl should pick up 2 here. Yeah. What's their last Pokemon? Well, we don't get to find out. And so there we go, Iron Treads and Raging Bolt, from very different worlds, you could say, but teaming up very nicely in this game. Let's see what we get next. I never got Sun or Terrain in that. Are you serious? Yeah, okay, good luck, have fun to you too, buddy. Can't even be bad, right? They're using the tools the game gives them. Well, hopefully I just land some big hits into stuff and get KOs. What do I have for spread damage on this team? I have Iron Moth. I could do Koraidon Iron Moth lead. And then hopefully hit Smeargle and Muck at the same time. At least a little bit. I'll bring Miraidon and I'll bring Raging Bolt. Try to clean up the Flamigo if I get the chance. Of course, they could lead one of their bulky restricteds and do a setup gameplay. And I don't know that it's Smeargle Muck, but it is Smeargle Muck. Okay, so it's follow me and minimize, or maybe fake out and minimize. Probably follow me, right? Because they can't have Muck taking a hit from either one of these Pokemon, so fake out just doesn't do enough for them. But I guess I play into it. I mean, what else can I really do here? Well, I can protect Koraidon and Heat Wave. But I probably just want to get rid of the Smeargle as quickly as possible, right? I would protect Koraidon and Heat Wave. Oh, it's Terra Water Muck. I don't know if that's standard on these teams. I don't know what the standard is on Smeargle Muck teams. They actually did go for Fake Out. But yeah, they don't take all that much from the Heat Wave, and they get their Minimize here. Now the Smeargle is going to click Follow Me, and I am just going to play into it. I'm Energy Balling. But, wait, they didn't follow me? Okay, knock Smeargle down to its Sash. They have Spore. They're playing this differently from the last one I faced on the ladder, who just clicked Follow Me immediately. That'll be in a video too. I don't remember whether that one is up yet, or what video it's in, or when it's going up, whether it's before this one, whatever. They'll probably just redirect this. I guess I have to get rid of the Smeargle, actually, or it could just Spore Iron Moth. So Heat Wave again. Wide Guard. I mean, they're running standard Smeargle moves. I just keep playing into it. I really don't need to be doing. Okay. Koraidon has a chance to wake up now, so I'm going to close combat into Smeargle, and I'm going to click Energy Ball into Muck. They Wide Guard again. Koraidon doesn't wake up. I missed the Energy Ball. Almost out of Sun turns. Not that that super matters to this game. But yeah, they're playing Smeargle Muck better than... they'll stay asleep. Better than the last opponent I had who used it. And I don't have Heavy Slam this time. Oh, Charcoal is on the Iron Moth because I just couldn't think of an item I wanted more when so many good items were already taken by the rest of this team. I guess I could have just gone Booster Energy. Or when I don't have Terrain up. I don't have a Booster Energy anywhere on the team, actually. I think I might give that to Iron Moth between games. Alright, let's try to... oh, you know what? I have Electric Terrain on my team. I could have switched Miraidon in and dealt with the Spore. But I saw Smeargle Muck and my brain just said, attack, 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 attack. And it's still saying that. Let's go. We actually landed close combat for more than half into Muck. Oh, we land the Energy Ball too. Okay, that's lucky. Oh, Lugia had Psych Up. It tried to copy the boosts. I probably should have known. But you had a very lucky turn there. I'm just going to lock Koraidon into Outrage. I say we just attack with these Pokemon until they go down. Actually, I might want to switch Miraidon in here. Yeah, then I get the boosts on Iron Moth when it comes back in. Not that it super matters into this team. Okay, I get lucky with the Outrage targeting too. But I also get boosted Rising Voltage. Okay, we take a Breaking Swipe. Not the end of the world. My restricted Pokemon will be faster than theirs. I'm gonna Terra and lock Miraidon into Dazzling Gleam. Am I gonna do that? No, I'm gonna lock into Electro Drift. I can Electro Drift Lugia if Miraidon gets through the turn. But yeah, we'll finish off the Giratina first. Lucky Helmet, okay. Yeah, I lose Miraidon, so it didn't really matter. Now I get Raging Bolt. And gonna outrage. I'm down to just Terra Electric, Rising Voltage. Let's go. Failed. Hello, it's me from the future. I've used my own time machine to jump in here because I was very confused about what just happened for a long while, even after I finished recording. So eventually, I took a close look back at the footage, did the old zoom and enhance, and it looks like when I selected Rising Voltage, I accidentally made an extra click on that spot on the screen, and that extra click caused me to target the attack into my own Koraidon, and the attack then failed because Koraidon had already been knocked out. So that explains the other thing that was confusing me that I didn't even mention out loud, which was that, as far as I knew, I didn't have any chance to choose my target for Rising Voltage. I was pretty sure that it wasn't a spread move, but weird, here it was behaving like a spread move, I thought. Add that layer of confusion already, and then the move failing on top of that, and well, for the rest of this video, I'm going to seriously entertain the idea that maybe flying types are immune to Rising Voltage, and I somehow just never knew that. That's not the case. It is true that you don't get the terrain boost if you use it on a flying type, but the attack does still work. My mouse hand was just a little bit clumsy here, and that's what threw me off. So there it is. Anyway, back to you, past me. Have fun thinking about this again in a couple hours or so and scrolling Bulbapedia for answers that you're not going to find there. Oh, the target has to be grounded for Rising Voltage. I did not know that. I haven't used that move in so long. Oh, okay. Well, I might have just goofed this one up. I haven't used Rising Voltage since Sword and Shield. I think you can excuse me on that one. But Assault Vest, Raging Bolt takes that crit Earth Power from Lugia just fine. And with the Acid Spray and the Snarl, we get big damage. And it's not Covert Cloak Lugia. But yeah, that game really just hinged on me landing those two attacks into Muck on just the right turn. But, you know, not mad that it worked out against a team like that. We get a Zacian Miraidon team here. I did not know that Rising Voltage doesn't work on flying types. Is that only in electric terrain? I like Iron Treads here. It's strong into both of their restricteds. Of course, they have other answers to it, but I could do Miraidon Iron Treads lead. That's a little bit threatened by Zacian, but I can pivot in, honestly, Iron Moth. Yeah. We'll bring my 3 future Pokemon, and then whom am I bringing from the past? I think it's probably Koraidon. I could Terra Fire on Zacian. I could blow up Miraidon potentially. I could blow up their fire types. I think I'm good with that. They lead Farigiraf, Miraidon. Okay. They have no ground resist and a bunch of ground weaknesses. I feel pretty good to just throw a Choice Banded high horsepower at their Miraidon slot. With the speed boost from Quark Drive too? Yeah. And I honestly kind of want to Electro Drift Farigiraf and see if I just knock it out instead of messing around with Volt Switch. We do just clean knock out Miraidon. And Farigiraf, so okay, pretty good start to this game. Who's in the back? Urshifu, Rapid Strike form, and Zacian. I have max speed Iron Treads. It's guaranteed faster than Urshifu, even if they're running a Choice Scarf. So I don't have to Terra, I think. I could just high horsepower Zacian. I might want to Terra anyway. Yeah, because they could protect Zacian and attack Iron Treads, and if they're Scarf, they'll go before Miraidon. So Terra Water. Terra Water. By the way, this Terra effect, I thought this was part of the April Fool's bit, because I first saw it on April Fool's Day, but it is still here. So that's neat. And then Electro Drift into Urshifu. Terra Ground Zacian. So it takes a high horsepower, though not very well. Sash Urshifu, we knock it down to the Sash. They blow up my Miraidon, but they're so far behind at this point, right? Yeah, they do Surging Strikes into Iron Treads, so that was a good Terra. And I get Koraidon here. Yeah. Because that's going to resist Surging Strikes and weaken it with the Sun. I just feel like Iron Moth, especially without Sun, maybe they can just Aqua Jet it. I don't know. But there's high horsepower into Zacian again, and I'm down to Flare Blitz into Urshifu. It's not like it's going to take that from 1 HP. Okay, nice quick one. Choice Band Iron Treads is putting in some work this video. You love to see it. This person only has 4 Pokemon, but they're going for some kind of nightmare setup. That's obvious. But like, what do they have for Koraidon Iron Moth lead? Right? Maybe they have some Terra type on the Calyrex, but hey, make them prove it. And then I kind of like Iron Treads Miraidon in the back, I think. That seems pretty strong. Koraidon plus the future seems like one of the stronger modes for this team, even though Rising Voltage, Raging Bolt is something I was looking forward to. Well, turns out it doesn't quite work like I thought it did. Okay, they lead Indeedee to Terapagos. I can get this Indeedee out of here. Yeah, I would think so. Or I could preserve Koraidon so that I have the close combat available into Terapagos later. Yeah, I'm going to switch to Iron Treads, and I'm going to Heat Wave. Try to break Terra Shell and get damage on Indeedee. We don't break the Terra Shell because we miss. We do get damage on Indeedee. Terapagos starts going for Calm Mind. They get Trick Room. This is where I could have used Flutter Mane with the Taunt, huh? But it's only +1 Terapagos, and a Terra Starstorm. They could have Earth Power or Flamethrower, but a Terra Starstorm into Iron Treads should not be an immediate KO threat. I'm gonna go for without Terrain. Oh, I guess it's the same with Terrain because they both get the same boost. Iron Treads is slower than Iron Moth. I would prefer that Iron Moth go first here, but no such luck. Okay, Indeedee follows me, sure. I'm Heat Waving again. Well, high horsepower first, and then Heat Wave. It doesn't really do anything except break the Terra Shell this turn. I get Terapagos to +2. I have Protect on Iron Moth, but of course not on Iron Treads. Well, at least I resist the Glacial Lance, but I think they got me with just 4 Pokemon. This team is meant to just go. It's not really well prepared for opponents that disrupt it with Trick Room and that kind of thing. I don't think I have a way to beat Terapagos. I mean, I guess I could get a double Protect on Koraidon, but then I still don't beat Calyrex, do I? Maybe I do. I mean, I'll knock out Calyrex if they let me, but they won't. These two sure do look cool next to each other on the field, though. Can't take that away. And losing to the other Gen 9 restricted Pokemon is not the worst thing here. It's thanks to its power that they're even able to team up. Okay. Get another one. White Kyurem. Okay. Chandelure, Groudon, and friends. Another Indeedee and a Chandelure. Might want the Flutter Mane available for this one. I could do Flutter Mane Koraidon lead, or Flutter Mane Miraidon. Either one looks strong here. Miraidon is a little bit tricky because of the Groudon. Come to think of it, I have a lot of ground weaknesses on my team, like that opponent earlier. I think I have to lead Flutter Mane. I could do Flutter Mane Iron Moth, like I'm playing Reg B. But I think I'm down to lead Flutter Mane Miraidon and bring Koraidon, and I will do Iron Moth. Have that boosted fire type threat into their Groudon. Okay. They can get Trick Room if they want it here because I only have 1 taunt. Oh well. I'll try to taunt Chandelure and Volt Switch Indeedee. Follow me. Taunt Indeedee. Volt Switch out to Iron Moth. And there's the Trick Room. Let's see if I can get rid of this Chandelure this turn. I'm turning off the Shadow Ball weakness. We do take a Shadow Ball now. It's Sash Fluttermane. I don't know that I need to do that. Oh, it didn't really help anyway. They doubled into it. That's unfortunate. Well, not unfortunate. I mean, they made a solid choice there, but you know what I mean. Volt Switch, Chandelure, Energy Ball, and DD. I'm not clicking Heat Wave because I don't want to give Chandelure a Flash Fire boost. Although that might not matter in this position. Get the drop. Oh, and they have Psychic on the Indeedee, so they'll knock out Iron Moth here. Get rid of Chandelure, but then who comes in? Miraidon, Volt switching out to Koraidon. I still have some cool imagery in this video, at least. Groudon. That's not necessarily the end of the world. Let's Flare Blitz Groudon. And, oh right, I don't have my Terra anymore. And hope that they miss Precipice Blades into Miraidon. They don't. Okay. Yeah, alright. Well, that's what, twice in a row that I just got blown up completely by a Trick Room team. That's what happens when you don't cover for those, I suppose. Even Iron Hands might have been useful. But I am enjoying the Pokemon that I brought. Here we have a Shadow Rider Zamazenta team. This one's with Talonflame, so they... Yeah, it's Tail Room. But I mean, you can tell that at preview. Chien-Pao Ice Rider Zamazenta looks very scary. I'm going to lead Koraidon Fluttermane, try to... Okay. Well, we win that one. Koraidon Ho-Oh. Blastoise. Great Tusk. Pretty unusual. Huh. Let's leave these. And I'll bring my Koraidon and Fluttermane. Not a ton of thought went into that Pokemon selection, but I feel like I'm threatening a lot of damage immediately into most of their team with Miraidon Iron Tread's lead. Okay, it's Incineroar Ho-Oh. I don't have Protect on either of these guys. I'm just going to switch the Iron Treads out to, I think, Fluttermane. I don't know. Like, I'm worried about Fluttermane being knocked out by a Sacred Fire, although they need the burn to knock it out through the Sash. I don't want Koraidon to get burned, is the thing, so... Yeah, I'm going to do that and Volt Switch into Ho-Oh. Fake out Miraidon. The Tailwind, okay. Icy Wind. I think I'm down to Electro Drift this time. They seem to be leaving Ho-Oh in. Yeah, they knock Mischievous Fluttermane down to its Sash. We get the Ho-Oh knocked out before Incineroar gets to move. It's a U-turn into Fluttermane, so they will KO that, but Fluttermane trading itself for Ho-Oh is not too bad here, I think. Now they have Koraidon and Tailwind. I think I'm just gonna bring in my Koraidon actually. Fluttermane. Protect. My Koraidon looks like an attractive target to them. Electro Drift Fluttermane. I have a feeling they're not going to let this work, but it seems worth a shot. They lock into... Well, I don't know if they're locked in, but they click Dazzling Gleam. They do double into my Koraidon. Okay. I got that right. I figured with the Terra Fire... They don't necessarily knock it out with a fairy attack, but then it's open to collision course stuff. Can I go Iron Treads here? I don't think I want to. It's the last turn of Tailwind. Honestly, I think the only way I get Koraidon through this turn is if I get a double protect, so I'm going to try. Don't get it. Maybe I should have clicked the Terra. But it's not a great use of my Terra. Okay, and Iron Treads is probably just going to lose, but we'll throw Terra Water, I guess. And throw a Choice Banded Iron Head at Koraidon. Maybe I flinch it. No flinch. Okay. So this team is not necessarily very good, but we definitely had some fun blasting through some of the ladder on our motorcycles. Really rocketing around like we've rocketed around the Paldea region. And there are actual good double bike teams out there that don't just lean into the Paradox gimmick, so definitely worth a shot. I'm sure I'll try one out at some point, but I just wanted to have some fun mixing and matching Paradox Pokemon here. And, you know, more experiments to come.